Hello YouTube. So this week we're talking about feminism, which I'm very excited about, and this is just a PSA to whoever's viewing this. I'm putting this on Transtastic and on my personal channel. Someone contacted me last week because I put my Secret Life of a YouTuber video on both channels, and I don't know if they didn't like that or what, but I'm creating this video and I want to share it with as many people as I can, so I'm putting it on both platforms. Just a PSA. Feminism. I'm so excited. I'm such a nerd. I love talking about feminism. I love engaging people in conversations about feminism. So if you want to have a conversation with me about this, let's talk about it. I'm like totally more than willing to talk to people about this. Absolutely. So I'm going to start with debunking two myths that I think are associated with feminism. First one is that feminists are man haters. Hating men is actually the opposite of misogyny. It's called misandry, so that's actually another thing. It's not feminism. But feminists are against sexism. They're not against men. Sexism definitely affects men too. That's totally a video for another time because I could go on and on about the ways that sexism affects men. I can't even speak because of all of the examples I can think of right now. So if you happen to be sexist and you are also a man, my dislike for you doesn't have anything to do with you being a man. It's because of the way that you view the world. So that's just a thing. The second myth is that feminism is only for women. Man, feminist. Myth debunked. No, seriously, if you are a human being who acknowledges that global gender equality is a thing and wants it to be different, then congrats, you're a feminist. So now I'm going to get into the reasons that I am a feminist. I'm a feminist because as a society, when we talk about rape, responses often are, what was she wearing? And she was asking for it. Because globally, only 24% of senior management roles are held by women. Because women are taught to value their appearance more than anything else. Because 67% of illiterate adults worldwide are women. Because in college environments, plagiarism is taken more seriously than rape. Because influential people in conservative media such as Eric Erickson say that a woman's purpose on this earth is to be complementary to her husband. Because women have impossible standards to live up to. There are endless ways that women can have the wrong body. They're encouraged to get toned and get rid of fat, but are then criticized for being too muscular or bulky. They're encouraged to have bigger breasts and butt, but then are criticized for being slutty and told to cover up. Because 1% of titled land in the world is owned by women. Because when women report street harassment or catcalling, they're told it shouldn't make them uncomfortable and that they need to take it as a compliment. Because 99.3% of all women and girls in Egypt have been subjected to sexual violence. Because between 2001 and 2012, more women in the US were killed by abusive husbands and boyfriends than the number of people killed during the War on Terror. Because instead of saying, you lost weight, we say, you look great. And what do we say to people when they've gained weight? Because even though the Equal Pay Act was passed 50 years ago to close the wage gap between women and men, women are still paid 77 cents to every man's dollar. Because the amount of women quoted about the 2012 election in the US is staggeringly less than men in major newspapers, magazines, websites, and other media outlets, including those quoted on women's rights issues. Because 94% of all writing awards at the Oscars have gone to men. Because we all say men and women more than we say women and men. Because less than a quarter of all the world's countries have had a female head of state. Because media's standards of beauty emphasize society's expectations for people who are on opposite ends of the gender spectrum. The people who don't comply with these stereotypes and gender roles are essentially erased, or they're bullied into suicide or self-harm. Because in 10 countries in the world, women are legally obligated to blindly obey their husband, even if they're told to take their own life. They could be thrown in prison if they don't. Because women's bodies are constantly objectified in the media. Commercials are using women's bodies to sell things. There's a preoccupation with trans women's genitals. Movies tell us men and women can't be friends because men could never see her as anything but sexual. Normal Halloween costumes are sexed up for women. Breast cancer awareness campaigns are sexualized to save second base, but breastfeeding in public is disgusting. Because out of 95,000 rape cases a year in England, about 15,000 are recorded by police, 2,910 face court proceedings, and only 1,070 are convicted. Because between 2009 and 2013, 35% of women's job gains have been in low-wage jobs, such as retail, food service, and housekeeping. Because 1 in every 5 women in America have been the victims of an attempted or a completed rape, and 12% of those women are under 12 years old. So those are just some statistics and societal ideals that are really important to recognize when we're viewing the world. I know that there have been points where I've tried to engage different people who don't really believe that feminism should exist or that women are still oppressed to this day and age. And when I say these things individually, they're kind of able to excuse it or write it off, depending on what we're talking about. But I really hope that hearing all of these things together, which are only not even a dent in what women are facing worldwide, I really hope that hearing that is putting some perspective on things and, letting you know that maybe there is a problem with how women are treated in this world. And like I said in the beginning of the video, this isn't just about women. This is about making all gender identities equal. It's just that women are the one who are oppressed by this system. So that's what I focused on in this video. I could go on and on about how sexism affects men and how it affects me as a trans man and so many other things, but that's another video for another time. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to engage me in any of this, please respond below. Please don't be rude. I mean, if you are rude, I'll fucking deal with it. I would just like to close by bringing up something that I found on Tumblr today, which is very relevant to people who are going to comment below and say that everyone has their own opinion. I will respect your opinion once your opinion doesn't disrespect someone else's existence. Thanks. See you next week.